Yeah, I think that's a foundational. If people aren't connecting their work to a greater purpose, if they can't see how their daily tasks contribute to that, I think that's a significant failure to serve. And the converse is also true. If that connection is made, that's one of the most powerful things we can do to serve team members. But I would also add, measuring emotional competencies. There are many assessments out there that can do that. And I think, of course, we can get a subjective idea of whether culture is changing, but I wouldn't leave it to a subjective measure. I would find, very well designed assessments that have been used, by many people that, with good results, to measure very specific things like how well does a leader listen, how empathetic is a leader, how concerned is the leader that somebody's growing every single day. These things have to be measured very precisely and with regularity. And I think with that, if you're measuring, for instance, let's say every quarter, every 6 months at first, then you can start to see, okay, where are we growing and where are we not growing? And to be most specific, a lot of these assessments are 360, and of course, there's always some value to getting feedback from peers and seniors. But I truly believe if you're trying to develop a servant leader organization, the most important feedback you're going to get is how do direct reports report on the people, on their leader. So to me, that's what matters more than anything. We tend to focus on, we want to get promoted, and we think about, okay, I got to make sure I look good for my boss. I would say worry more about how well you're taking care of your team. And if you do that, you're probably going to look great in front of your boss. So that's where I think the money's really made, so to speak, is getting that precise feedback from team members, from direct reports. And then, at the C-suite, if that's where the culture change is coming from, you can be measuring managers not only on their performance in the terms of the normal things that we measure in everyday business, but also how is that culture changing on their team? Are we seeing steady growth in terms of how they're perceived by their direct reports? And I wouldn't expect it to happen overnight. It's not going to. You can see some changes quickly, but I would expect you need to work at this for a good 18 months to 3 years before you're going to see it, especially if the culture's been very anti-servant leader up to this point. But the payoff is tremendous. The investment of time and effort to grow a culture, as I'm sure you've heard from all the presenters before, the payoff is tremendous. It's worth the effort.
Thanks so much. So Matt and John, we're wrapping up this half hour with you. We have a